Okay, we've just pulled up another line, very small community. When we leave here we start heading east, and that's when shit gets real. If anything's, it's got the potential to go very, very pear-shaped very, very quickly. So we need to make sure we bring our A game. Well, we've grabbed as much fuel as we can and topped up with as much water as we can take. Always get a bit anxious around this part of the trip. This is where shit gets real, and if it goes pear-shaped, one mistake from here could be fatal. Definitely the most remote part of the journey from here.
I'll be going a bit slow.
No, that's fine, that's okay. I was going to tag behind Chris just to make sure that fuel don't fall off. Yeah, we need fuel for 650 kilometres, which is a big stretch. The bikes are pretty heavy, but when you consider the option running out, yeah, no fun in that. We crossed the Tropic of Capricorn a couple of hours ago, been heading north. The temperature now is 32.5 degrees Celsius, and it's 4:30 in the afternoon. Temperatures have definitely increased as well, which was to be expected. We knew that. This is all spinifex country around here. We'll have to settle for what we can find. It's not great, but it'll have to do. Not much deadfall around for fire, but I'm pretty close to the road, but I think once the sun goes down it won't be a busy road. Alright, morning of day 4. We're on Skull Springs Road, which is a great road, scenery wise. A few twists and turns, but a really great road for adventure riding. We don't have a destination for this evening, but we've got to be mindful of our fuel usage. So we've got to throttle back a bit where we can, because fuel is going to be the issue for the next 48 or 72 hours. Well, we've just pulled over in the only bit of shade we can find. We're just going to decant one of the jerry cans into the bikes. That'll be 10 litres less that is, rolling around as baggage, and just try and distribute the weight forward into the tank rather than have it flopping around out in the back. So we'll just decant one of the 10 litre jerrys in the bikes, and then we'll keep moving on. It's only early on this part of the trip. I'm already suffering fuel stress. You may not be able to see it, but I'm currently getting 4.8 litres per 100 kilometres. I've got to keep that number below 5. If it goes above 5, that means I'll be pushing the bike for the last 50 kilometres, and I don't necessarily want to be doing that. This morning so far it's been fluctuating between 4.5 and 4.8, so as long as I keep it below 5, we should make the next fuel stop. There are some really serious washouts on this track, and if you're not if you're in the zone, if you're snoozing, you're going to bust your suspension or do a tyre. What the fuck's happened there?
Are you going to ask how I am? This is the first time I've dropped it. Fuck off with your photos.
I want to know how. I could be on this side, acting as an armor,
And one of us does the handlebars.
He pulled over to wait for the rest of us to catch up, and his foot got caught on the foot peg, and he tried to put his foot down on the ground and it fell over. So he didn't crash, he just dropped it. He's okay. Just doing a bit of a sand dance through this lot. Doesn't have to be very deep before it creates a bit of misery. Oh, this can't be good. Thick sand. Oh, he's stuck, he's pinned.
Whoa!
Well, we're not asking sincerity this time. Are you okay?
Get it out.
Oh, JP's confidence will be shattered now. We've come across a bit of sand, he's just paddling through it, which is the sensible thing to do. Whenever you have an off, it always takes a bit of time to recover from that. He'll be okay, he'll be fine. Well, this is the turn off the Skull Springs, the actual springs itself. Obviously somebody's gotten a bit creative. A couple of cow skulls, independent spring from the front end. Okay, we're at Skull Springs. This is a freshwater permanent water source, permanent spring, obviously coming out of the ground somewhere. Anyway, the bottom line is it's flowing. The water quality, I think, is pretty good. So I guess it's time for Uncle Arthur's bush survival tips. We don't know when our next water supply is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hydrate. I'm going to drink quite a bit of water left in one of my water bottles, and then I'm going to fill up that water bottle from this water source here. Created a bit of a dam earlier, about 20 minutes ago, just to increase the height of the water. And the thing is, if this water's a bit dodgy, there's a number of ways you can filter it. I always carry sterilisation tablets with me, so I'll treat this water with those later on this evening before I drink it. But if you don't have sterilisation tablets, what you can do is fill a sock or 2 socks or 3 socks, fill it full of dirt, charcoal from the fire, anything you can, and use that as a filter. I just suspend the sock in a tree,
and just let it drip slowly, and the water quality out of that should be pretty good. And if you do that a few times, you'll be surprised just how clear the water is. And if you're still not sure, boil it before you drink it. Now in my case, the little dam that I've created is not deep enough, so I've just had a bite to eat, had some lunch, some canned chicken. I've washed the can, so I've got a cup in my gear, but I'm just too lazy to unpack everything, so I'll just use the can to fill up the rest of it. And this water will be fine for noodles, for coffee, whatever. So, if you're stuck out in the bush, like I say, there's a number of ways you can filter the water if you don't have the ability to treat it chemically.
Well, that can't be good. Yeah, when you stop on this stuff, like JP did, you don't have a lot of options other than to fall over. Shall we stand it up?
Hang on, I'll come on. Who's gonna? I'll go with Steve. Chris?
Yep.
So we push it out. I put the cunt down to hop off and then I fucking fell off.
just arrived at Carawine Gorge. This is a permanent waterhole. We may stay here this evening, we may camp here. The problem is it's quite popular amongst tourists. Most of the area, oh, hang on a minute. Most of the area is just a creek bed during flood times, and it's really loose creek pebble stuff. And if we can't get a spot early in the piece, then we would run the risk of burning our clutches trying to negotiate the creek bed. So we'll see how we go. Oh, this looks promising. This looks very promising. Yeah, all this area here would normally be covered by water during flood times. There's a few people there straight ahead. Swags. And that's okay, there's lots of room here. Oh, this area is perfect for us. Perfect. In an earlier video I talked about whatever you take out bush should have multiple uses, and today is a good example. I've just taken the hard plastic liner out of my soft bag, and we're using it as a washing tub to do a load of laundry. Just the essentials, socks and jocks. And later on this evening, once the sun goes down, I'll actually use that same plastic bin liner as a shower and just fill my steel cup full of water and have a shower out here. Yeah, I should mention, for you young grasshoppers, don't ever wash either your clothes or dishes or do laundry in any watercourse, all right? Grab the water in a bucket or a container and do your logistics, you know, away from the water, yeah? Otherwise you just pollute it. So no soaps, no nothing, no. Here's another trick for you young grasshoppers. Anything that can be microwaved can be cooked out bush just by sticking it in a saucepan full of water and boiling it for, yeah, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, and just squish it around a bit, and you'll find it's warm enough to eat. And no dishes, because all you do is throw the empty pack in the fire. Uh-oh, we're screwed. We were hoping to top up with fuel and water. We're going to die out here. Oh, it's the coppers. Good. Did I mention that it was unpredictable and slippery? Yeah, very, very treacherous indeed.